Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for the podcast that pulls back the curtain, that dissects the strikes, the submissions, and the controversial decisions. We're coming to you live from the Empty the Bench Network. We are diving deep into the world of mixed martial arts. Get ready for the unfiltered takes, the expert analysis, and the raw, unadulterated passion for the fight game. These are your hosts, two of the most knowledgeable voices in the sport. The one, the only, Zain Bando, and the undisputed, the always insightful, Jack Gold. This is the MMA Outsiders.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the MMA Outsiders. I'm Zain Bando. He's Jack Gold. It is Thursday afternoon. Jack, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. Another any week we're here together is a good week, Mr. Bando. And we've got UFC Mexico this weekend, and I think we've got some good stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I think we have some good stuff to talk about too. It's on the little bit of the colder end at the moment, but we are getting into March, so things may be blossoming here very, very soon. But before we get started, please be sure just to like and subscribe to the Empty the Bench podcast number. You can do so at youtube.com/EDB Network. My name is Zain Bando. I'm a staff writer for MMA Knockout, and he's Jack Gold to my right. He's an independent MMA content creator. Jack, anything new or exciting coming up for you that you'd like to plug, or anything you'd like to share before we get started?
Nothing too much. Hey, your boy's out of Instagram jail. That's what I got to say. I'm walking the mean streets of Instagram again. I can post, I can do reels, I can do collaborations, I can do whatever I want. So I'm happy to be back. Any big stuff for you to plug, Mr. Zain? How you feeling?
Well, I mean, in regards to the fight game, really nothing. In regards to in-person events, I guess I'll just briefly say it, and then I guess I'll say tune into more editions of Bando's Breakdowns to find out more. But I am credentialed for the Big Ten men's basketball tournament in Chicago, third time in 4 years that I will be in attendance for that in the middle of March, which precedes the NCAA tournament. And then in regards to fighting, potentially PFL Chicago, assuming I get approved. Do I go? Do I not?
I think you'll get approved.
The
big Zain Bando is getting approved.
No, I'm getting approved. The question is going to be will I have the mental bandwidth to actually go and sit through those fights? That's another.
That's a different conversation.
That's another conversation for sure. But nonetheless, though, we have an exciting show this week. And then just as a reminder, you can listen to the archives of the MMA Outsiders wherever you get your podcasts if you want any of the early OG episodes. Now that this is a live show, there's no audio version of this anymore. But if you want episodes 1 through like 150, probably 148, 150, somewhere in there, you can get all the old archives from when I started, because I'm one of the only remaining hosts that's left on the show too. As it went through some transition, Tom is now obviously back in full. But if you want the old archives, you can get those over there. I will do enough of that, and I will shut up for just a second. But before I do that, this is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be starting with the latest updates to the UFC White House card. At this time, we don't have actual fights announced, but what we do have is a bit more clarity as to how much the event is going to cost. That's number one. What the actual date is, because there was some confusion about that. And there's been some rumblings about whether this Ilia Topuria Justin Gaethje fight will actually happen, according to a very, very prominent Hispanic MMA reporter who reported earlier today, and I believe yesterday too, there may be some geopolitical things going on with this Justin Gaethje Ilia Topuria fight. So, as I like to do, I will let you, Jack, have the floor first, and then I'll give my 2 cents, and then we can banter a little bit before we move on to some also, just a little bit more of a flavor of what we're going to be getting into. We're going to be talking about the White House today. We'll be talking about Floyd, Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao. We'll get into UFC Houston. We'll get into UFC Mexico City. And based on how much time we spend on all this stuff, whatever else we get into, we'll get into over the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. but I will let you, Jack, have the floor, and I'm curious to hear what you think about this.
Yeah, man, it's getting to the point where it's just like I don't really know. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's the UFC White House card is kind of a mystery right now. It's kind of we don't have a confirmed main event, especially with what's happening with these fights, with the Elia fight, the Gaethje fight, the Pereira fight. This typically or supposedly not happening on this card.
Well, then there's I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm sure you've seen it. The ESPN leak for Miami that apparently it's a TBD versus TBD for the main event, and it's for the light heavyweight title. And now everybody's assuming it's the inevitable Carlos Alberg, Yuri Prohaska fight, which has been floating around for a while, but hasn't been officially announced yet. So pretty much your overall case and point, and I'll let you get back to finishing your point, is there's a lot going on, but at the same time, there isn't a lot going on because nothing has been explicitly confirmed. So
the one thing that has been confirmed as of this morning is Kamaru Usman's title shot has been declined. So I think it is interesting to see what happens now at welterweight. I'm going to assume Ian's going to get the title fight.
So then there's the other rumor that I've seen. I don't know if you've seen this, and I think the location got leaked, so I'll just say it. UFC 320, whatever it's going to be. I think it's UFC 328 or something in Abu Dhabi. The supposed main event is Ian Gary versus Islam Makhachev. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I've seen it. Supposedly May 30th, UFC 329 is going to be Islam versus Ian. Do I believe that? I'm not sure.
Wait, so I'm curious. Would they do 2 UFC events in one day? They do Macau in the morning and then Abu Dhabi card at night? Or are they doing 2 UFC?
I'm pretty sure Macau's the 23rd.
Oh, it is?
I think so.
Okay.
So from what I saw, it was the 30th today. I think Macau's May 23rd. Could be wrong. I don't know, but it's an interesting one. We really haven't heard anything lately. Ever since this Paramount deal, they're waiting until the very last minute to announce these fights.
For sure. So, in a nutshell, what do we think? It's February 26th. I just a little hint on what's going to be on my show that airs tomorrow afternoon, and I sort of say, give it a month's time and we'll know. I was being generous with this analysis, but I said, give it a month's time and we'll know legitimately what fights are going to be on this card. You kind of hinted at it a week ago, and your opinion, bless you, is your opinion changed? Bless you again. Is your opinion changed whatsoever on what could be transpiring on this card or on this card or for this card, as we now have 60 people watching this. Shout out to all of you guys that are on every platform, whether that's YouTube and or X. By the way, just to run through those really quick before I let you continue, Jack, my YouTube channel, your YouTube channel, the ETB Network YouTube channel, the ETB Network X account, my Twitter account, the MMA Outsiders Twitter account, the Bando's Breakdowns Twitter account, and the ETB Sports account. Oh, Jack, the floor is yours.
It's just the fight that I'm most confident in is they're going to make some bullshit like Bo Nickel versus Colby. Everything else is up in the air because, like, what do we know? Like, okay, so potentially we were thinking Hokett versus Derek Lewis. Well, shit, that ain't happening because Josh Hokett just got booked versus Curtis Blades. So it's just like, I think there's going to be a lot of weird stuff on this card. I have no idea. I think Derek Lewis will be on there. I think Bo Nickel or Kobe.
Are you believing the 7 fights thing? Are you believing that it's only going to be 7 to 8 fights?
I can understand it being only 7 to 8 fights, and it's specifically because they're doing it on a Sunday. They're not going to do a full card, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. And by the way, whoever it is at Puck News that fumbled the other date, wow, man, I don't know how you could mess up that badly, but somebody somehow did, and it somehow got back to Dana, and Dana was not happy about it. That usually Puck News doesn't get things wrong. So at first, I thought they were right. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And 20 minutes later, they're like, no, it's the same day. And
That's not happening.
By the way, I knew it was suspicious because I'm just going to put my journalism cap on. Usually you're supposed to say explicitly what a reason is for a date change. And this article just threw it out.
Like what recently happened with Ottawa to Winnipeg.
Right. But it came out, though, that there was an arena issue, that the capacity of the arena was too small. That's why they moved it. That's at least what I heard. So
that's what I'm saying. At least there was a reason given.
Yeah, exactly. So, in a nutshell, though, do you just simply not know what's going to happen? I mean, do you have a sneaking suspicion they'll still make the Ilya fight, or do you think it's not happening?
That's the only fight that I can see happening, to be honest with you. It's just like, what else is there? Is Valentina gonna headline this card versus Natalia Silva? Like, I don't think so. Like, if you just break it down, flyweights aren't headlining. Bantamweight, the champion just got back surgery. He's not headlining. Featherweight, Volk's not headlining. He just fought. Lightweight, up in the air. Timelines work.
Welterweight's definitely not happening.
Not happening. Middleweight, I can see a pivot where if they do end up making Khamzat going up, that they make Sean Strickland versus Imavov for the vacant, which could headline.
Oh, by the way, that Khamzat rumor that he's going to light heavyweight, I think, is bogus.
I agree. I don't believe it, but I'm just living in a what-if world right now. Like,
gotcha.
Best case scenario.
I think Strickland would be their only option because you need an American headliner.
It's like the best case scenario is Gaethje Topuria. The only other option is Strickland for the vacant title or versus Khamzat, which I don't think they'll have Khamzat on the card because light heavyweight's due in Miami, supposedly. And then heavyweight's supposed to be the next event. So it's just like, what do they have to give? And I think at best case, it's the men's lightweight and middleweight vacant title. Worst case, some bullshit.
I mean, shoot. Did you
Bo Nickel versus Colby Covington for the real American title at 180 pounds?
Did you see the other rumor that's going around? I don't know if I believe it, but
Protest versus McGregor? No.
Conor McGregor versus JDM, my guy.
No fucking way. I haven't even seen that. I've seen Protest.
You haven't seen the JDM rumor yet?
No, McGregor posted about Protest today.
What did he tweet? Did he already delete it?
I think so. It was Protest looking like a mix between Carlos Protest, Barack Obama, and a Jewish man.
Holy shit.
And it's just like, all right, so what? You're going to have him come back to get absolutely slimed out by a monster welterweight? Awesome idea.
Holy shit.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I
get you.
But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I just don't know. I think it literally is as much of a toss-up as any card has ever been.
For sure, and I completely agree. Let's kind of dive into some of the other stuff that we know is legitimate. So there's this $60 million figure that's going around that apparently the UFC isn't going to make any sort of profit off this. It's all going to be a long-term ROI according to TKO. Do I buy some of it? Yeah, in a sense, but do I believe that they're going to make zero profit off of it? No.
Do I think it costs $60 million? Fuck no. The Sphere was 20.
Yeah.
This is the biggest, most expensive. You're bitching and complaining about that, and then all of a sudden you're like, let me triple down.
Let's be real. Besides the Mexican history videos for that event, the card was very okay.
Not even okay. The card was mid. That's what I keep telling everybody. Look at the Noche card. There were 3 good fights on that card. The rest
they were fights that only hardcores would remember.
Exactly. It's fights that were Mexicans, which is good, but it's a lot like this card. It's like they don't have the top level guys.
One of those guys that was in one of those 3 fights is fighting this weekend. Look at the rarity of that.
Literally, it's just one of those things where I don't think this card, like name-wise, I said on the last show, I'll say on this show, the White House card is going to be much more of a spectacle being at the White House than it is being a spectacle of this card's awesome. Like UFC
I'm just gonna say this point blank, and I know this is a hot take. I would rather go to International Fight Week at T-Mobile in person than any sort of card like this. That's just my personal opinion. I prefer the traditional UFC event as opposed to this. Like, this would be cool, but I'm not like, it's not my desire to go to this. That makes sense. Like, I hope it's a successful show and I hope it looks cool and stuff. But do I really need to go to this? I've kind of come to the conclusion that I really don't even really don't even care.
See, so I think it's a once in a lifetime type thing, so I would go for that. But it's not. My expectations are a bummy Apex card with a couple good headlining fights at a once in a lifetime location. That's how I'm viewing this.
Okay. Well, speaking of, this isn't once in a lifetime. This is happening again, but I guess once in a lifetime from a Sphere perspective. The first ever boxing match to take place at the Sphere is a fight that we were all excited about when we were in high school. My guy, it's Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao #2, and this time it's not on pay-per-view and it's not $100. It's
live on Netflix.
The day before my birthday, so September 19th at the Sphere. Two old guys going at it. What do we think? Are we excited for this fight? Do we not care about this fight? Do we think that the 2015-16 trend is being taken a little bit too seriously? I mean, and at this point, just have Nate Diaz fight Conor McGregor and call it a day. It would be 2016 all over again.
What is up with Netflix buying into this unk shit? Like, what is happening right now? Tyson versus Jake. Unk Floyd versus Pacquiao. Unk Ronda versus Kavanagh. What the fuck are we doing? You've had one legitimate fight. And it was Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. It's like, lock the fuck in, guys. What are we doing here? Are you Misfits boxing on the biggest scale?
I don't know, but I will say this. If I were to bet money on this fight, which I may come out of gambling retirement just for this one fight, I'm willing to bet that this thing goes the distance, and I feel very confident about that.
All of these fights are going the distance.
It's going to be a pit point, pitter-patter fight, and it's going to be Floyd Mayweather winning on points for at least 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Why are we doing this? Put Nia Inoue versus Fedora or Nick Ball on Netflix, and let me show you some real boxing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess these two guys, they're coming out of retirement. It's name value. It's interesting. By the way, it's the same day that LSU plays Ole Miss, which is the biggest college football game of that week. It's going to be a freaking madhouse. It's going to be Lane Kiffin's homecoming game. So there's going to be a lot of sports excitement that weekend. Got a nutty day of college football. By the way, that same day Michigan State plays Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Then at night you have this, and then who knows? Maybe we get a crappy Apex card as the precursor.
On top.
I don't know, but my way too early pick is Floyd by decision. But I want to ask you a little bit more of a fun question. Which way would you lean? Yes or no? The fight actually happens. What would be your early pick on this? Because there seems to be some skepticism that something's going to go wrong with the commission and the fight won't be sanctioned because of one thing or another. I'm just curious as to what you think about this.
If Jake Paul can be sanctioned and fight Mike Tyson, I'm going to assume this fight's going to happen. I can't imagine the amount of money that they're being paid to do this. So I say yes, this fight's going to happen.
Yeah, I think what's going to be cool is all the pre-stuff. The countdown show, assuming they do a good job on that, it's going to be really interesting. They're probably going to do some sort of 4-city press tour, I would assume. They're probably going to take this thing all over the world. They'll probably do one press conference in the Philippines. This is my guess. They'll do a press conference in the Philippines. They'll do one in Dubai. They'll do one at Madison Square Garden, and they'll end the tour in Las Vegas at MGM or something.
Agreed. I think they're going to do something special for this card. I think they have to.
Yeah, I think so too. As long as they build a good undercard, I'll watch it. So,
do you trust that? I think I just saw a fight. Did we get one of the undercard fights for Gina Carano versus Rousey?
if we did, I don't know anything about it unless I'm going nuts here.
I swear I saw some unk get put on this page here. Maybe not though. I don't know. All I know is I know they're trying to get it's going to be an MMA card. Is what I
well for the Ronda Carano card, yeah. But for
that's
Floyd
what I'm saying.
Mayweather,
I swear I saw some like Benson Henderson versus Patricky Pitbull, not that fight, but like something like that. But maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
GFL's back though. All the unks are coming back together.
I guess so. All you're missing is Strike Force and Affliction and Rule stuff. I mean, Jack, let's be honest. At this point, Netflix is in the unk business. Why not try to make Fedor versus Brock? You think people would watch that?
I think people would watch that, but I think they would do it for the amount of money they'd get. They'd be like, "This is more money than I've seen in my whole career," and Brock would be like,
And they bring out Vladimir Putin to do the face off or something like that.
It would be so dumb. I don't know, dude. No, Netflix wouldn't allow Putin, the big Poot on there.
No, for sure. Speaking of Netflix, still, the Rousey versus Carano press conference is removed a couple of days to March 10th. Apparently, there's theories on about this that it was either weather concerns or some other thing, but I don't know. As I told you a week ago, this is a circus, and to me, this is simply the beginning of the circus. What do you think?
We're fucked. This card is so cursed, dude. It's just so bad. This is gonna be so bad. I don't know what people are expecting in this fight, but it's gonna be so bad.
I can guarantee you, Jack, there's gonna be tickets available the day of the fight, I think.
Oh yeah, dude. You think they're selling out Inuit?
No way.
Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes would sell out the Inuit Dome.
No, I don't think so either. Rolling on the Netflix train, though, my guy Conor Ben gets a $15 million one-fight deal, and he's fighting on Netflix against Regis Brogue, and for whatever reason, Zuffa Boxing is co-promoting a Netflix card. What in the world are we doing here? What's going on?
Kind of an awesome fight, can't lie, but like, damn, 15 million. I've seen quite a few MMA fighters feeling some kind of way about this right now.
Yeah, especially Sean O'Malley, who had no idea who Conor Ben was. That was very interesting. He had zero idea who he was.
What do you think? What do you think about it?
What do I think about it? I can't wait to watch it. That's going to be, you mean to tell me Tyson Fury's headlining this card, and then I got my co-main event as two of the nastiest strikers in the entire sport? So someone's getting violently knocked out.
I think it'll be a good one, man. Like, I think it'll be a good event.
As long as it's during the day before 327 and PFL, then we're cooking, I think.
I think it's got to be during the day. They're not going to go head to head with their own show.
No, I don't think
At least in my opinion. Unless they do, and they pull some unforeseen thing. We're going to take our own show.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But I'm excited. I think he's going to win. I think it's going to be a good fight. And I think he's going to win impressively enough to where that one fight deal is going to turn into a multi-fight deal. I don't think this is a one-off. I think this is the beginning of a long-term relationship because I think there's beef between Conor, Eddie Hearn, and Dana White. I think there's stuff going on to where if he wins, I think he's almost guaranteed to stay with Zuffa Boxing. That's my theory based on connecting the dots here. I don't think this is a one-off spectacle, though. What do you think?
It's difficult for me to think about it because it's just like, well, I think he's got to stay. Like, he burnt the bridge with Eddie.
Right.
So it's like he's gotta. Where does he go afterwards?
I don't think he goes anywhere because he can't go to Matchroom, and then obviously Golden Boy's doing their own thing. Golden Boy doesn't probably want him. And then you go to Queensberry, and Queensberry is suing Zuffa Boxing at the moment for however much money it is. Yeah, to me, it doesn't make sense for him to go anywhere else. No way.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's just a super weird situation, honestly. Like, it's just like the combat sports world right now is just in shambles.
Oh yeah, the combat sports world being in shambles, though, that's not a surprise. That's more so of a part of the course type thing, if you will. That's like a thing that's expected when you have a promotion that tries to throw together cards at the last minute, and you got guys rather getting injured, and
we've got guys.
You have a promoter that doesn't seem to know, what's going on with future events and stuff like that. I mean, we're hearing about UFC Philadelphia before we're hearing about who's fighting at the White House. Like, I don't understand. So, nonetheless, though, speaking of UFC, let's briefly run through this. You, sir, beat Tom and I out. You went 8-6. I went 7-7, and Tom went 6-8. So congratulations on barely beating us out. I'm not sure if you knew you went 8-6. Maybe I just broke some news to you.
I don't think I did go 8-6 according to our picks. I think I went 10-4.
Oh, you must have changed a couple of them. What did you change?
Because I had my only loss on the prelims, or I had Dalval loss, Osborne loss, and Jokowani loss. Delia loss.
So you did switch your Brahimi pick. Okay, I didn't.
I switched my Brahimi pick, and I might have switched my Melky pick. I don't know. But my only wrong on the main card was Delia, and then I got Chidi, Ode, and Dalval wrong.
Interesting. Okay. Now I know. I literally had no idea that you changed them. Okay, I will gladly make that adjustment.
Hey, day of something hits me inside where I go, I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, let me fix that for you.
But the record on the year should be 39-12.
Okay, very interesting. Oh, just run with that one last time. You changed your Brahimi pick, and then what was the other one?
I changed my Brahimi pick to Puna. And my only losses on the night were Yadier Dalval. He lost to Jordan Levitt. I picked Ode Osborne. He lost to Alibi Idris. I picked Chidi and Jokowani. He lost to Carlos Leal. So that's 3 on the prelims. And then the only loss on the main card is Ante Delia. I correctly picked Strawn, Uros, Melky, Jacoby, Pereira, Coria, Edwards, Soriano, Lebesniani, and Judice.
Yeah, it's my guy. So congratulations on 10-4. You were 39-12. Well, I am sitting at a semi-comfortable 30-21. So I'm only a couple fights behind you. But overall, though, now that we have that fixed and out of the way, what did you think of the card overall? And the main card, obviously better than the prelims, but what were your main takeaways? I'll give mine, and then we'll put UFC Houston to bed and preview UFC Mexico City in the final 20 minutes.
Until the last 3 fights of the night, terrible. I thought the Smith versus Harrell fight was fun while it lasted. I thought Delia versus Spivak was like, okay. Carly Judice is fucking sick. But other than that, man, like, it was not good. Melky, and then the last 3 fights of the night, Melky, super, super impressive performance. That guy's a problem. Co-main event, Uros Medic. Congratulations, brother. You are a slime out king, according to Bedtime MMA. And then the main event, Sean Strickland. I beat y'all, motherfucker. I'm him. I can predict these things. No, I'm kidding. But I just figured that
too, my guy.
I know. It was just one of those things.
Did you notice something? I got the method right. I was a round off. I said he would knock him out in the 4th. He knocked him out in the 3rd.
No, you're right. We both just thought it was a stylistic problem for Hernandez. Got the job done. Rocking and rolling.
Hey, I'm going to be honest. I think Hernandez is a tough road back to the top, my guy. I really do.
I do too. Like I was saying last week, it was like as impressive as his performances are.
You got some absolute studs. He's gonna need to rematch, in my opinion.
As good and dominant as Anthony Hernandez's performances are, I think none of them. He's fought no top level competition. So when he fights the top level competition, like Zain was saying, it's going to be a problem. Like he'll have to fight either Paulo Costa, Imavov, Brendan Allen again, RDR, Caio Borralho. Like these guys are going to cause problems for Anthony Hernandez, I think. Not all of them, but some of them will.
Yeah, well said. Overall, not to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. This is my first C- rating of the year, and I'm going to tell you why. And I know you're probably going to go a little lower, but I think the last 3 fights put it to at least a passing grade for me. There were 3 incredibly entertaining finishes. Whatever you want to say about them, it's fine. But to me, as long as the co-main and main event deliver, that gives me an above 50% grade, no matter what UFC event it is. I'm just one of those guys who's very, very pro main event. I like to see the main event go certain ways and have it be exciting. I think this is one of those that deserves a C- grade. And I think as much as we want to talk about what Strickland said to the media either before or after the fight was over, when you look at the overall performance itself, there's no denying that it was impressive. It was a nice finish. He beat a guy that hadn't been finished or that hadn't been stopped in 8 fights. You got to give him credit where credit is due. He is a top 3 middleweight in the world. His next fight is going to be a big fight. Will he get back to a title shot? I don't know. But this is sort of an outlier here, and we could debate this for a few more minutes before we move on. I think, and this is bold, and I know you're going to be like, why would he take a fight down in the rankings? I'm gonna explain. I think if Adesanya beats Pyfer and the UFC wants to strike up an old rivalry that hasn't really been in the news cycle as of late, I think Strickland Adesanya 2 is a fight that myself and a lot of other nutty hardcores would be interested in, just because there are some people that are of the belief, my guy over here, that if Adesanya fought Strickland 100 times, he'd probably win 80 of them. And on that night in Australia a couple years ago, this wasn't his night. And I think if they fought in a rematch, I think it would go very differently. So
see, I'm on a different camp than you. I think it's styles make fights, and I think if Strickland and Adesanya were to fight 100 times, I think Strickland wins 95 times.
Bro, you can't be disrespecting last style bender like that, man.
Disrespecting him? I'm talking another former champion.
Well, disrespecting in the sense that did you forget how good he once was? You don't think that if he looks really good against Joe Pyfer, you can't at least give him a shot against some of the top competition?
I'm not saying – I don't think you listened to me, because I said Sean Strickland, singular, has a terrible matchup and style matchup for Israel Adesanya. In his prime, in his washed-upness now, I think if they fought 100 times stylistically, I think Izzy has a very difficult time with Strickland. Now, does that think, I mean, Izzy doesn't beat Whitaker, or doesn't beat Costa, or doesn't beat these people with Vettori? I think he can beat Vettori. I think he could probably beat Costa again.
I mean, he's already beat both of them before, so it's not like he can't do it again.
That's what I'm saying. But I think Strickland, what in that fight showed you that Adesanya could do anything?
Well, he couldn't. He was outclassed.
So why would you say if he was outclassed for 25 minutes, he wins 4 or 5 fights, essentially 80% of fights, when he couldn't win 20% of one fight?
Because it's a different era now, and I think he'd have a fighter lit under him if he viciously knocked out Pyfer, and he wants somebody of his caliber again, and that's a guy that he's been wanting to fight again for years. So why not give him the opportunity to do so?
And I think that would be a fun fight to make, but nothing you're saying is showing that the fight changes. Like from that fight, since September 6th or whenever it was, 2023, what has Israel Adesanya done to show that he has made improvements or he has a fire lit underneath him?
Well, I'm saying he hasn't made improvements.
I can answer for you. He's done nothing. He's been knocked out and then has not fought. Strickland from that point has won a title, defended his title to a super close split decision, fought another title fight that he lost, and then just came back again with that fire lit underneath him and dominated the number 4 contender. Israel Adesanya ain't doing that. Stylistically, he hasn't put the pedal to the metal in 4 years. Sorry, not sorry. I'm taking Sean Strickland. And especially similar opponents, Dricus finished. Izzy. Dricus won 6 rounds out of 10 versus Sean. Couldn't get anything going. So I don't know.
Hey, it's all interesting. I just think the fight would be cool to spice up the middleweight division again. I'm not guaranteeing that he would win. I just think the fight would go a little bit differently than the first one. I could be very wrong, but I got to have the hope and the belief that he at least still has the fighter to win a couple more and at least remain in the upper echelon of the middleweight division. Nonetheless, though, let's talk about some actual fights now. This weekend, it's not the most top-heavy card in the world. We get a late replacement in the main event. It's the UFC Mexico City card, and I know I sound really down about it. It's just simply because it's not really of the totem pole sporting event this weekend. There's a lot of other important stuff on in other sports, but
here, I'm pulling it up right now. Bang.
Here's the card.
I will give it credit. Cool poster. Yes. I like the poster. But starting off at the beginning of the night, we've got Wes Schultz, Wisconsin native, Midwest man, taking on D Penis. How you feeling in this fight? D Penis, Damian Panas, minus 210 on FanDuel, minus 250 on here. What you thinking? I'm taking Penis. But I think Wes Schultz live underdog. Let me put that out there.
I think I'm going to take it's. By the way, Jack, it's Damian Pinas. I will be taking him as well, and I will be going conservative, and I will say that he wins a decision. What do you think?
I think D Penis wins a first round knockout.
Why do you think he wins in the first round?
Because if he doesn't, I think Wes Schultz has the capability of getting this win. But I think Damian Panas is a dangerous man on the feet.
Okay, so we both are in agreement for the first fight of the night. It's good to know.
Next up, we have Francis Marshall taking on Eric Silva. This says Francis is only minus 500, but Francis Marshall is really closer to minus 900. I'm taking Francis Marshall.
Yeah, I'm taking Marshall too. I think Eric Silva personally is on one of his final legs here. If he can't win this fight, I don't know if he can beat anybody in the lower portion of the rankings, let alone the top 15. What do you think?
He's one of those guys where it's just like he really hasn't. I'm going to click on his Tapology here. He just hasn't done much. Like he got on Contender 2022, then fought immediately and lost to TJ Brown, which like is not the best. And then he lost to Naimov because he hurt his leg 45 seconds in. But what I want to show you is who he beat on Contender. He might be a familiar looking guy, Anvar Boynazaroyev, and he's a great striker. But I just want you to take a look here at his pro MMA record. Okay, that's 5-6. This guy was never UFC caliber. 4 losses, 4 finishes in a row, 3 by submission, 1 by punches, 2 Daniel Lacerda. Like, he just simply is not the guy. And look, he only had 3 fights, and then it's just been loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. I just don't think Eric Silva is UFC level. I'm
No,
taking Marshall.
Yeah, I'm taking Marshall as well. In the next fight, which is a catchweight fight, it's a weight replacement fight. This one is pretty easy for me. I'm taking the one with a little bit more experience here, and I'm gonna butcher her name, but I'm gonna do my best to get it correct. I'm taking Kurikite by decision. What about
I
you?
get to make fun of you now, Zan. Her name is actually Ernesta Karakate.
Oh, is that right?
But no, I'm going to take the short notice Mexican, Regina Terran. I've seen her on the regional scene. She's a big, now in a respectful way, like a thick girl. Like she is well built. She's strong. She's a finisher. Karakate loves going to decisions. I'm going to take the finishing upside of Terran. She was supposed to have a fight tonight in Muay Thai. It gets pushed 2 days, and I'm taking the debutante.
Okay, next fight, Douglas Silva de Andrade and Javier Reyes at featherweight. What do we think about that one?
I think I'm going to – is Douglas de Andrade is a crafty vet. And – I love picking him in fights like this because he just gets the job done. Like he's good. He's good, not great. And he wins some, he loses some, but he just hasn't been fighting as much recently. And I feel like that's because he's 41 years old and he's getting injured. His last 4 fights, lost to Miles Johns, don't love that. Beat Cody Stamann, loses to Saeed Nurmagomedov, beats Sergey Morozov in an awesome fight. I think I'm going to take Javier Reyes by close decision here, but I'm not super confident.
Okay, and why are you not confident?
Because Chris McCate just beat him a year ago.
So why not pick against him knowing that? I'm curious.
I just think I'm just going to trust in the younger man. It's a 10-year difference. I think Reyes is experienced. I think he could eke out a decision. I think Chris McCate would beat Miles Johns. Therefore, I'm going to take Javier Reyes.
All right, the next fight, Quinones versus the.
Who are you taking? You never said.
Silva de Andrade by decision in a very interesting fight. It should be a fun fight.
Next up, we have Christian Quinones versus Chris Moutinho. Who you got?
I got Quinones. Moutinho is tough, but he's too tough for his own good. And it's going to be one of those fights where it's going to be what could have been once again, which is what most of his UFC career, both stints, has kind of told us. What do you think?
I'm taking Christian Quinones by submission.
Okay. And why specifically Quinones by finish?
I think he's got to win by finish. If he doesn't, cut them both.
What makes you say that? That's a little bit harsh.
Well, I mean, Quinones doesn't fight, and when he does, he's not the best. But Chris Moutinho has been proven not to be UFC caliber because both of his UFC fights was one of the worst beatdowns of all time and maybe the most vicious knockout of last year. I just don't want another Shannon Ross situation where we bring a guy back on for pity and we watch him get clobbered over and over again.
Fair enough. But yeah, at least we both agree on that. Next fight, we got Chiasan versus Eileen Perez, who's like everybody's favorite person on Instagram these days for obvious reasons. So what do we think? Is Perez gonna twerk, or is Chiasan gonna put her in her place and make it ugly? What do we think?
I think Eileen Perez is gonna grind out a decision here.
Okay. And what makes you feel that way?
I just think she wants it more right now. The last couple of fights, Macy just hasn't looked like she's wanted it, as dumb as that sounds.
I am taking Perez as well, and I do think the home country advantage is gonna get behind her, and I think she's gonna push.
Come on now, that's got to be racist. Not home country. It's one of their biggest rivals.
Oh, that's my bad. It's my
Argentina. Oh yeah, Argentina and Mexico. They're the same. They're the same. Silly.
Dude, I forgot she was from Argentina.
I have Mexican friends who would kill you for that. I
Come
texted
on,
one of my
man.
friends, hey, can you make me, there was a meme. It was like, oh, any Latino could make another man Latino. And his response
What?
to that was, as long as you're not Argentinian. So
What? Come on.
I
No
think you
way.
just, that's cooked, man. Come on now. But
Oh, damn it. Okay. Fair
hey,
enough.
be careful on this one too. We got Jose Medina taking on Ryan Gandra. Is this a home country fight?
No. No, I don't. As far as I know, I haven't looked too deep into this one, but it's always hard to not pick against elevated. So I'm gonna go with Gandra. I think it's a late finish. What do we think here?
I'm gonna take Ryan Gandra as well. Ryan Gandra is my fourth worst prospect from contender this past season. However, I think Jose Medina is the first worst middleweight in the UFC. He's Bolivian versus Brazil. I'm taking the Brazilian Ryan Gandra.
All right.
Now we've got a home country fight. Santiago, the border boy Luna, taking on Angel Pacheco. I'm taking Santiago Luna by finish.
I got Luna by finish as well. I think it's going to be an all-out war that is a chance to be fight of the night. What do you think?
I agree. I hate that I'm 2 years older than Luna. That kills me.
Why do you hate it?
Makes me feel like Unk, but it should make you feel like Unk. You're 6 years older.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Next
I
up,
am
we have another.
old. I mean, this September I'll be 27, so there is that as well.
Crazy. Next up, we have Imanol Rodriguez taking on Kevin Borjas. Now, listen, I'm taking Imanol, but Borjas is one of those guys who I might sprinkle a little bit of money on. Imanol is almost minus 500 on the books right now. And I think this is going to be a close decision.
Close is in controversial, or what are we thinking?
I'm thinking like 29-28 either way, whoever wins.
See, I'm gonna disagree with you, and I'm gonna take Borjas to pull it out. I just think his gas tank is gonna be a little bit more of a problem, and I think he'll be able to grind it out and steal the third round.
Interesting. Next up,
hey, usually if you recall, Jack, if you go back in your history, these Mexico City cards, there's some pretty crazy you know what moments where some wild upsets happen, and I think that is a chance to be one of them.
I can see it happen. Next up, we have Edgar Shirez taking on Felipe Boons. I'm taking Shirez by finish. I think he's just a more dangerous version of Felipe Boons.
Yeah, I think Shirez wins, but I do think he gets rocked early, but he comes back midway through the fight and finishes him, and it should be a very fun fight. I think he might get a performance bonus off this fight, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Next up, we've got Daniel Zellhuber taking on Bobby King Green. Who you got, Zan?
I think King Green gets robbed by a split decision. What do you think?
I agree. Give me Daniel Zellhuber by split decision.
And by the way, not just split decision, but I'm talking the worst decision we've seen this year. That's my bold prediction for the card. Is this fight's going to be having Twitter and Instagram, the MMA community specifically, go absolutely ape shit crazy over how bad this decision is going to end up being.
It definitely can be. Next up in the co-main event, we have Marlon Chito Vera taking on David Martinez. What do you think here? Who you got?
I got Chito Vera. What do you think, man?
I'm taking David Martinez by decision.
How come?
I just think Cheeto is the new Tyron Woodley. He's the new Frozen One. As good as he is, he doesn't throw strikes, and I think David Martinez is going to win purely off of volume.
Really? And do you think he viciously finishes Vera, or do you think it's late?
Well, I said decision, so.
Oh, well, I'm just saying well, I know you're picking the decision, but I'm saying if he does finish him, how does he finish him, and when does he finish him if a finish is open?
I don't think there is going to be a finish. When has Cheeto been knocked out? Like, the only way that's going to happen is he has to land flush early, probably. But I put almost 0% chance Martinez finishes Cheeto. I would say the finishing potential is on Cheeto's side if he decides to fight.
Okay. Meaning if he decides to fight smart, though, right?
I'm saying if he decides to throw a punch or throw a kick.
Okay.
I don't. Have you watched the last couple of Cheeto Vera fights? Am I going crazy here?
No, you're not. No, you're not going. You're not going crazy at all. But
I feel like I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at these fights here, and he hasn't done shit in any of these.
I mean, yeah, he hasn't had a finish in a long time, but you never
a finish. He got 50-45 by Corey. He arguably lost versus Pedro. He had one literally 10-second winning moment of the Sean O'Malley fight. Didn't do first fight he's ever been dropped, got dogged on by old Figgy, and then Zahabi beat him. So it's just like, did Zahabi have a good moment? Sure, but Jose Aldo did better.
Also, I was gonna say the same thing, that Zahabi did have good moments against Aldo too. So that kind of
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Aldo hurt him more than Cheeto ever did.
No. I know, which a lot of people thought Aldo beat Zahabi, and I was one of.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Cheeto lost.
Well, I
He's
know.
arguably 0-5 in his last 5 without winning a round.
He's got to win one of these, though, man.
Does he?
I think so.
Does Tony Ferguson, would he, on his win streak, was he going to win another one? Was Sam Alvey going to win another one? Was Woodley going to win another one? I don't think so. I think
to compare him to those guys, I don't know if we're fully there yet. If he loses this one, yeah, we can have this conversation.
What do you mean? If he loses this one, he's 0-6 in his last 6, arguably.
No, which I totally get. What I'm saying is obviously a 6-fight losing streak is worse than a 5-fight losing streak. But at some point, given that he did fight for the title not too long ago, you gotta win one of these fights to get back on track.
I don't think he's gotta do anything. I think his career, if he loses this fight, he's cut from the UFC. That's what I think.
It's bold, although some people do still think he's still of name value. But
just think about it. How often do you get a fighter that can lose 3 in a row and be like, oh, yeah, he's safe on the roster? And then you say 4 in a row. And then you say 5 in a row. And then you say 6 in a row. Like, it comes down to there have been 5 fighters ever. So I think if history repeats itself, what has Cheeto done to earn this sticking around after being 0-6 when he hasn't fought? He hasn't had. When was his last good performance? Davey Grant, Dominic Cruz, in a fight that he was losing. 2022, 3.5 years ago. Rob Font, a fight that he was losing and then would win with moments. Frankie Edgar, a fight that he was losing, won with a moment. Like, this was his run and claim to fame. Since then, terrible fight, arguably lost, terrible fight. I don't know. I don't think his job's safe.
Well, we shall find out next week if his job is safe or not. But this is the one that I think we can disagree on. But I will give you this: you can give me all the shit you want, when more than likely he'll get viciously finished or something like that, and then I'll never hear the end of it, and I'll say I was wrong, and then you'll say that you were right. So I'm just putting it out
wins, there. I'll let you tell me anything you want to tell me, but I just don't see it happening. The Frozen one has thrown less than 100 strikes in his last 3 fights.
Something's got to give, though, man. That's my overall point. Something's got to give.
Then in the main event, we have Brandon Moreno versus Lone'er Kavanagh. What do you think, Zain?
Lone'er Kavanagh taking this on short notice, coming off of a loss. As you alluded to on Instagram, it's a weird fight, but they had to save the main event. This is the 3rd year in a row that Moreno has headlined Mexico City. If Moreno doesn't win this fight, I'd be very concerned. Give me Moreno to win a conservative 5-round unanimous decision. I just think it's a little bit too much for Kavanagh, and it's a little bit too big of a step up in competition for a guy who's still very green in his career. What do you think?
I think Lone'er is going to look really good in round 1, and then the elevation and everything else is going to get to him, or Brandon Moreno is going to get a late round TKO here or decision.
Okay.
That's my thought. I like Lone'er. I think he's going to look awesome for the first 5 minutes, but after that, I think the elevation is going to play a big factor on Saturday night.
Interesting. Okay, very, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be an okay main event. I don't think it'll be anything special. I think it'll be very okay. It's not one that I'm really looking forward to be fair, but it should be an okay main event. If there is going to be a finish, it'll probably be a Moreno finish late. I would say if there were to be a finish, maybe round 3 or 4. I would argue. What do you think?
I agree. I could see like rounds 3, 4, 5. It's just like what I will say is I'd rather watch this fight than Brandon Moreno versus Asu Almabayev. So I'm happy about that.
Why would you rather watch this fight?
Would you rather go see an F1 race, or would you rather watch 2 kids playing go-karts? Like,
I'd rather watch F1.
Yeah, I want to see the exciting strikers in a main event. I would rather not just have like a crotch sniffing 5-round flyweight main event to headline a dog shit card. So I'm just happy that we're getting like a scrap in the main event at least.
Well, they had to throw it together pretty last minute, so you got to give them credit for at least making the fight, right?
Sure.
Because I mean, dude, if you don't make this fight, your Mexico City main event is screwed. So
I think there were a lot of different avenues they could have taken, but picking unranked Lone'er Kavanagh coming off a KO loss was interesting, but I don't hate it.
All right, before we get out of here, you want to go over quick picks for those that are joining late as we usually do?
Sure. My quick picks going down the card, I'm taking D. Penis.
Okay.
I'm taking Francis Marshall. I'm taking Regina Terran. Taking Javier Reyes. Taking Christian Quinones. Taking Eileen Perez. Taking Ryan Gandra. Santiago Luna. Imanol Rodriguez. Edgar Shirez. Daniel Zellhuber. David Martinez. And Brandon Moreno. Who are your quick picks, Zan?
Yeah, so with mine, we're going to give you, here we go. So we've got Pinas, Marshall, Karen K, Silva de Andrade, Quinones, Perez, Gandra, Luna, Borjas, Shirez, Zellhuber, and then the reluctant pick, which you can't stand. Marlon Chito Vera breaks his losing streak, and Brandon Moreno in the main event to show that he is still very much a factor in the UFC flyweight division, which I feel like we've been saying for years. He's a former champion, but it almost feels like every year he's always on that doorstep of being number 2 or number 1 in the world every year. The guy's longevity, man, I don't know how he is, but he's been a beast in the UFC ever since they re-signed him several years ago. For him to still be at the level he's at is very, very impressive. Are you impressed with what the Assassin Baby has done, or are you tired of him always being a factor at 125? I've never asked you this.
I mean, like, I respect what he's done. I think his last couple fights have been a lot less fun than his first fights, but then again, like, he's getting older. These guys can't be in wars for their entire careers. I don't know. I respect the Assassin Baby. I like Brandon Moreno.
Yeah, I like him too. And by the way, he's one of the best when it comes to fan Q&As and stuff. He's always energetic with the fans, and he loves when people come up to him. So I think it's really cool. All right, well, that's going to do it for the UFC Mexico City preview, and that will also do it for another edition of the MMA Outsiders. This has been episode 158. It was a good show. Shout out to the 80 people that are tuning in. For those of you who are tuning in late, we feel bad, but it will be archived.
Lovely people. Throw some comments in here next time. We're happy to answer.
I know we're happy to answer anything, but for those of you who joined late, I'm Zain Bando. He's Jack Gold. We went over a lot of stuff today. Previewed UFC Mexico City, recapped UFC Houston, talked about some other small things that are going on, fight announcements, Mayweather Pacquiao 2, what the heck's going on with this Rousey Carano press conference, and some other fun stuff as well. Before we get out of here, please be sure to like and subscribe. You can do so at youtube.com/ETV Network. Would be greatly appreciated if you guys did that. We're slowly but surely approaching the 4,000 watch hour mark. Hope you guys liked the new thumbnail as well. We're going to keep trying out these different thumbnails on a weekly basis to see which ones work and don't. I'm Zain Bando. I'm a staff writer for MMAKnockout.com. And to my right is Jack Gold. He's an independent MMA content creator. And of course, as I alluded to earlier in the show, you can listen to the archive of the MMA Outsiders wherever you get your podcast. Jack, I will let you have the final word for this episode as we approach 4 p.m. Eastern. Anything else you'd like to add before we roll out the outro and we move on with our Thursday afternoons, if you will, in our respective areas of the beautiful city of Chicago?
Yeah, don't miss out. Mid to trash UFC card this weekend, but make some money on our picks. The odds are bad too. Happy you guys are here. Next week, we're back and better for a big card, UFC 326, the BMF title. Happy to be here with Zain Bando and happy and thankful for you guys watching. That does it for another episode of the MMA Outsiders.
Always happy to be with you too, Jack Gold. Looking forward to discussing UFC 326 and the madness that will bring. Also looking forward to seeing how the heck we're gonna try to dissect how the CBS portion of that broadcast looks. But that'll be next week. So for everybody here at the ETV Network, I'm Zain Bando. He's Jack Gold. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, everyone. We greatly appreciate you, and we will see you guys very soon. When you have a good one and enjoy the swell MMA Outsiders outro as we leave you with the best of luck going into UFC Mexico City this Saturday, only on Paramount Plus, 5 p.m. Eastern start for the prelims, followed by the main card. You guys know the drill. Have a good one, and we'll catch you guys soon. Cheers, everyone. All right, here we go. So.